Today we're going to be installing the security pack, just like that, with the patio pet door. You get a transfer plate, security plates, and a latch for your screen door. Some sliding doors use these as well. So you have your latch there, with the screws. Your transfer plate, which is the one that looks like an S sort of thing from above, with the screws and bolts. These are all self-tapping screws, so you don't need any drills with it. You should be okay. And 2 security plates. We're going to be installing a silver pet door with a black lock today. So, a white pet door with a black lock today. So we're going to use silver plates so you can see them. They stand out. Normally they'd obviously be color coded. So come over to the door. This is probably one of the most common types of locks you'll see. This style, this one's slightly different. It's a commercial lock, but it's, you know, generally just a latch on the front here and your handle there. You do that and it locks it. Do that, unlocks it. If you look at the door over here, when you lock it, 2 hooks just come out. Simple as that. On this side, this just receives the hooks. You've probably all seen it before. What we want to do is take this apart. Okay, so these 2 screws here, and that's sort of an outer casing. The most common type you'll see have 2 rings, one at the top, one at the bottom. They're cover caps. Pop them out with a flathead screwdriver and you'll see screws behind them. So they might not actually come apart like this, but you remove the 2 screw caps and you'll be able to see the screws that go in there and hold it to the actual frame. Now normally there's obviously screws top and bottom just there. Very close over there. But on this one, just sort of how it came. For some reason they put screws through the back here. That won't work. So you will come across heaps of slightly different ones. But it's, you know, pretty much the same concept. So I'm just removing this off of the frame. So this one's like they've used a screw with like a nut and bolt type thing. Screws are pretty mashed up. Well, we should be able to do it still. Come across heaps of different ways that people have tried to fit locks to doors, and some of them will be bodgy, but you know, you just sort of deal with it. Alright, so that's the inside part of the lock. Okay, this is the bolts we've used. Trying to get them out. Okay, so we've got the patio pet door. This is a commercial door, so it's got 3 extensions on top. The top piece there is actually just a normal piece that moves on the top here. The extension pieces are underneath. They just go on these support bars. You slide them up onto the support bars. I'll do another video to show you how to do that later on. Most sliding doors, you'll put them in at the bottom, push it back, and then extend the top. In this one, because it's a very odd size, you're going in at the top first. So if you ever come across one that you can't fit in size-wise, try the top first. Okay, so we pop it in there. You can see this one actually has the plate already on it. You get 1 security plate in the box with the pet door. I'm going to take this off and use the silver one so you can actually see it. Here's the silver one I showed you earlier in the security pack. Like I said, you do get one in the pet door as well. So what we like to do is line that up with this thumb screw. All the thumb screws in the box of the pet door. So pop that on there, push the pet door right over to the side. You shouldn't need to extend the top at the moment because we're only marking it to see where to fix the pet door to the trap. I'm using a marker, but you're probably better off using a pencil, something that doesn't mark too permanently. Mark the top and bottom of that plate there. Pull it out. And this is your plate. Pop it back in the same position where you marked. And then just put your little marks in there. If somebody really wants to sort of minimize damage, a way to do it is if they have a lock that sits on the inside, you can actually just drill some more holes through there or put the self-tappers, you know, through that plate anywhere to try and keep the holes underneath their old lock, so that if they ever move, they can put the lock back on and it'll cover up the holes, obviously minimizing visible damage. So these ones, you're just looking at self-tapping screws. You get some in the pet door box and you also get some in the security pack box. Doesn't matter which ones you use, they're all the same, just got a self-tapping end on it. So all we need to do is get your electric screwdriver, pop it right in there. Okay, on this one you can actually see, if you come around here, it's actually pulled the track a little bit away from this concrete wall here. No one should really come across that problem. The only reason we got it here is because we're in a tilt slab building. So again, you get many different scenarios. We're going to try and sort them all out, but if you do come across that, really simple. Obviously, just use a bit of common sense. Take the screws out, cut them a bit shorter and put them back on. I'm going to leave them for now though, because it'll still do the job. I'm just going to move that down to make sure it's in the right position to where we had it. The holes are elongated on the plate, which means you've got a little bit of wiggle room there, a bit of adjustable space. Okay, so that's now in there, nice and tight. And that's what's going to hold the pet door to the frame. Now, some customers have crim safe and things like that, and they have a triple lock system on the crim safe. Now, what you can do is use another couple of security plates where you get in the security pack. You can put one at the top, you know, you can either put one up there or one at the very top on this side. You can put them pretty much anywhere. And them two holes, you can just whack the self-tappers through, okay? You can go anywhere in here. This is designed so it doesn't go too far and, you know, go through the glass or anything like that. So you can go through any of them holes, top, bottom, sides. So you can just sort of increase the security. If it's crim safe, normally they've got like one here, one there, and one down at the bottom. Just match the places where they are, and you can add those on. We like to keep the middle one in line with that, just so it's easy to remove if the customer wants to remove it. You can move the pet door over, this is a side track. You can pop the top plate up and tighten it off. And then it's actually a little bit high, but it's okay. You can pop that thumb screw in there. Just making sure it's in the right part of the track. It's a bit far back then, it was over a lump at the bottom. Helps if you also clean the track out at the bottom. It can be a bit difficult if there's loads of crap in there. There is at the moment. I'm sort of bearing with it. Okay, so now we've got the pet door secured into the track. Put that up nice and tight as you can get it. Don't over tighten these too much. You can use an Allen key if you need, but 99% of the time, you can just use your hands to tighten these. They've got a nice bit of grip on them, so you shouldn't really need to do it any tighter. If you do over tighten it, you do risk ruining the threaded nuts that go in there, the rivet inserts. So that's secured in the track now, up against the side. So now we've got to put the latch back onto this side. So if you have a look, the door doesn't slide inside that little track. There's a little track on the side of the pet door. It's not designed for a door to slide into. It's too thin. The reason for this is all doors are different thicknesses. If we made one that fit where your door slides into it, it wouldn't fit most people's tracks. So the idea is that it butts up to it. Okay, if people really insist on getting a sliding door that slides into a track, then you'd have to get the adapter. Okay, and that's up to the customer to do. I'll make another video about that shortly. But anyway, you get the plate over there. So you get this transfer plate, and the idea is that sits on there like that. Now, and go either way around, it just looks a bit nicer with just the single holes on this side. So sometimes you might need to utilise the fact that there is 2 holes in there, because you'll put that plate up against this here, like that, and you'll see that on some doors, this actual latch here is really long, and it's longer, so you might end up with a hole over there and a hole that lines up down there. If that happens, cut this plate in half, okay, spin it round, and you can have 2 halves, one at the bottom, one at the top, and you can still line up them holes, it just being 2 halves. And then you can put a self-tapper there, there, and there onto the door, so it'll still work. But we'll use it this way around for now. And the idea is we've got to attach this plate to there like that. Sorry, there like that. Okay, check that's the right way round. It is by the looks of it. Okay, try and do this. Go down there. If you've got a table, it makes it a bit easier. So we've got some nuts and bolts in this little pack here. What you can do as well is see which way fits nicely. With these, does that stick out? Oh, it does very slightly, but it might be okay. So what we can do, if these screws are too long, we can always cut them, so don't be worried about that. And you can either put them in that way and bolt it together like that, or you can pull that out and you can bolt it together, popping the bolts through that way. It really doesn't make a difference. The nuts should fit either way. I'm probably going to go this way to see if we don't have to cut it this time. We'll see how we go. No, sorry, there. Let me see if I can get that cover on with that on there. No, it's not going to fit. Yep. So on this one, as I said, we are going to have to cut the screws a little bit. We can sort that out. So I'm just snipping these screws with some snips. Okay, so now I'm going to go back through. I'll go that way. So that's how it sits on the door. We're going to bolt it to the security plate now. 2 little nuts. It'll be a little bit fiddly, especially because I've now cut the end. Just make it a little bit more difficult to get it on. Pre-thread it first. When you cut the screws, obviously you'll all know that it does make it more difficult to get onto the nut there. pliers, that would have been easier, pliers, but I've got any on me right now. Okay, put that up through there and we'll give it another go. Now I've pre-threaded it on, it should be a bit easier for me. Still going to be a pain. Could do it with some pliers, really. Got it. Okay. So it's one on there. Let's mess around with the other one. If you don't have to cut the screws, then don't, because it's a nightmare. And this one, do with some pliers. I could really do with some pliers. It's spinning in there. I reckon it'd be a lot easier. To get this on. There we go. Okay, so use pliers, guys, because that was a nightmare. So that's now on there. We're going to just pop that casing back over. And we're going to use the two small screws that came off of it. One there. One there. Okay, and now here's just a bit of a tip to get it in the right place. You probably already know this sort of thing, but hold it up to the lock and lock it. You have to position it in the right place to get it. Just going to move the lock over a little bit. There we go. So we can lock that like that. Best bet now is to close the door. Close that right up to there. And at the right height, just put your 2 self-tappers in there. And there you go. So now that's on, and we can close it, and that'll lock in there like that. So that's basically it complete. You'll see there is a small gap at the bottom, and there's not a small gap at the top. The reason for this is your sliding door tilt. You got wheels on the bottom of your sliding door. They need adjusting. Most of them. Look down here. Most of them have a hole down here. Put a screwdriver in there and turn that. You'll be able to adjust your wheel, and it'll pull the door up or pull it down. You should have 4 wheels. One there, one at the top, one at the back, and one at the back at the top as well. You'll have to just play around with them and adjust them until you get this door perfectly level, and then it will meet up nicely with this. And also then you can just put a weather seal in here. We like to put the D-shaped rubber ones in this track here. They're designed to be the right thickness for that. Or you can even put weather seals on this door here. And that should be pretty much it.